you, Trump. Okay, here's another one. Ninth Circuit stacked with leftist judges denies Trump administration state injunction on transgender troop ban. Oh, yeah. Judges keep stopping them. Here's another one. Biden-appointed judge orders State Department to provide passports to trans people using chosen sex marker against Trump order. More swamp. Stunning new groundbreaking research utilizing artificial intelligence exposes tyrannical D.C. judges unconstitutional behavior during January 6 trials. There's so many of them, they have to just line them up how they deliberately and knowingly violated January 6's rights. It's just out of control, okay? So here's another one. Activist judges and they will reach judicial authority a case for sedition and treason. Yes, they are committing sedition and treason, these crooked judges that America used to believe, oh, the holy judges. Judge said something, God spoke. No, they're crooked socialist friends of the corrupt politicians and the big banks and corporation lobbies that own the politicians that put the judges in their place. So Associated Press is bringing out this issue up. And look at how the judge who blocked Trump's deportations and is now facing calls for impeachment. Yes, these judges got to get impeached and fired from the job, okay? What they try to do to Trump, they can and should do to these crooked judges, okay? So now you see that this face is unfortunately inside the heart of many of these judges out there that are destroying you and your rights, okay? So remember, what did the Declaration of Independence say? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, rights that cannot be taken away. That's what unalienable means. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's more only among them. Okay, that's a preamble to the Declaration of Independence, and it further says this, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. That is right, my friends. You have the right to alter or abolish this government. That's not meeting the needs of the American people. But guess what? I'm not advocating for violence at all. We don't need to alter or abolish it. We need to return it to its roots and foundations of the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the laws as written on U.S. government's official legal websites. You'll be shocked to see the truth for yourself. Let's go to the income tax form, 1040 U.S. individual income tax return. Okay, now this individual is not the 50-state individual that the term U.S. suggests to you. This is actually a District of Columbia individual. You'll see it's actually a Washington, D.C. individual. I know that's shocking to you, surprising, but hold on. You will love to see the law for yourself with your own two eyes. Let's go to the IRS's 1040 instruction handbook, which I fully agree with the IRS's instructions on page 8 about filing requirements. And it says that these rules for the 1040 form apply to all U.S. citizens. Absolutely apply to all U.S. citizens regardless of where they live and resident aliens. But again, it all depends on the term U.S. It's not what you think. It's not the 50 states. Hang in there. I will show you. We're going to talk about the law, okay? We're going to talk about the law and show you the law. This is the United States Code, which is a consolidation and codification by subject matter of the general and permanent laws of the United States. That's the federal government. This is not the 50 countries of the Union, like Florida, Texas, California. This is the Washington, D.C. government, the single United States, right? You notice the difference? Not these United States, 50 of them, but the United States, the singular United States, and it is prepared by the Office of the Law Revision Council of the United States House of Representatives at the website uscode.house.gov. This is the official source of law. Better than any attorney or judge, this is where you go read the law to see what it is when it comes to federal laws. So here it is. Title 26 Internal Revenue Code. Now we're going to talk about that a little bit. Here's one of my personal paper copies of the Internal Revenue Code. This is the Bible of the IRS that they're trying to follow. Over 10,000 pages of gobbledygook minutia, tiny font, teach you thin confusion to confuse you on purpose. And the key is in how you define things. The definitions are not in the front, they're hidden in the back. When we get to that in a minute, you'll see. So let's go look at the Internal Revenue Code. Here's Part 1, Tax on Individuals. And everybody knows, every CPA, any accountant will tell you that Section 1 imposes the income tax. Okay, we agree. Let's go on, though, to talk about this more specifically. And here, we're going to go to the Code of Federal Regulations. This is U.S. Treasury regulations that further explain, interpret, and put in place the federal tax laws. Okay? Let's see what it says now in the Code of Federal Regulations on Part 1.1-1, Income Tax on Individuals. It says that Section 1 of the Code. What are they talking about? Right here, people. The Internal Revenue Code, the Bible of the IRS. Okay? This Internal Revenue Code imposes an income tax on the income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. There's a little bit more, these couple sections later on, that 871B and 877B, we don't have to worry about those. That's a minor part. The main thing is a tax on everyone who is a citizen or resident of the United States. What does the United States mean? What does it refer to? You'll see in just a minute. It's not the 50 states, okay? Hold on. Let's look at this a little bit more in CFR 1.1-1. B. Citizens or residents of the United States liable to tax. In general, all citizens of the United States, wherever residents, okay, are liable to the income taxes imposed by the code. All right. And all not resident alien individuals. Any foreigner that lives in D.C. All right. That's my theory. I'll show it to you in just a minute to see if I'm wrong. All right. And furthermore, we go down and see, and who is a citizen? Every person born or naturalized in the United States and subject to its singular jurisdiction is a citizen. That's what they're talking about. All right. Again, the term United States, we're going to get to that once and for all, clearly what it is, okay? Now, this case of Hume versus Allison, okay? Okay. This case talks about what it is, and this presentation, the part that's relevant, tells you that it's three different definitions of the term United States. Okay, the second term definition of the United States, which I don't have, but I have it up to seconds, is a land over which the federal government is sovereign. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute for you guys. Let's put it up on the screen for me, guys, if you could, a little bit later on. I'll make them short them later on. Okay, all right. So here's a relevant part of that. Okay, Hoover analysis. Okay, here it is. The term United States may be used in any one of several senses. It may be merely the name of a sovereign occupying the position analogous to that of other sovereign in the family of nations, like compared to France, Germany, Russia, or China, for example, right? The third one is also we're very familiar with. The third one, it may be the collective name of the states who are united by and under the Constitution. Those are the ones that we normally think about. But the second one is the one that the tax law talk about, okay? It may designate the territory over which, let me straighten this out for you guys, okay? Territory over which the sovereignty of the United States extends. That's right. Sovereignty of the United States government extends to Washington, D.C., and its territories. That is the United States that they're talking about it here. And you see it in the tax law momentarily. Boom! Here it is now. From the horse's mouth, Title 26, we're going to go to the definitions. I promised for you that will solve the puzzle for you very clearly. Here we're going to go to Chapter 79, definitions of Title 26, Internal Revenue Code. And Section 7701 says, in definitions when used in this title, well, of course, they're talking about Title 26, Internal Revenue Code again, right? They define many things that do not even need defining, like person, corporation, domestic, stock. But look at A, 9, and 10 United States and state are specifically defined. Look at state. The term state shall be construed to include the District of Columbia. Funny. Why none of the 50 states are listed? Not New York, not Texas, Florida, none of them. But District of Columbia, which is not even a state, it's a territory of the federal government, is listed there. Because they can. They can define things any way they want. The lawmakers have that prerogative. Now look at the term United States definition. When used in a geographical sense, that's what we're looking for. It includes only the states, which we now know and see. It is only the District of Columbia and the District of Columbia again. They didn't include any of the 59 states or any U.S. territories like Puerto Rico or Guam either. So that's all that there is. Now, I know most of you say, oh, Paymon, come on. Everybody knows the 50 states are the states. It's clearly implied. You know, they don't have to list it. No. They do according to, not me, but the U.S. Supreme Court. Let's see what the Supreme Court says about this issue of definitions. Here's a case that just came out in 2024, okay? This is the Kurtz case, Rural Housing versus Kurtz. And the Supreme Court says this, okay? When Congress takes the trouble to define the terms it uses, a court must respect its definition as virtually conclusive. If that is what's in the definition, that's all there is, and no more than that. And it further continues, okay, that this court will not deviate from an express or listed statutory definition merely because it varies from the term's ordinary meaning. Ordinarily, United States means the 50 states, but not here in the tax law. It's only the District of Columbia. Now, some people say, oh, Paymon, that's not a tax case. Doesn't apply to taxes. Well, guess what? I'll give you a tax case in just a minute also. Hold on, okay? Here you're going to see the case of Gould versus Gould. This is a 1917 unanimous 1917 9-0 U.S. Supreme Court case that says this about taxes. In the interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying taxes, so in understanding laws that imposes taxes, it is the established rule not to extend their provisions of tax laws by implication or implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operation of tax laws so as to embrace or include matters not specifically pointed out If something is not specifically pointed out, it is not there. The 50 states were not listed in the definition of the United States that you saw earlier, right here, see? It's not there. It's not pointed out in states or United States. Therefore, it is simply not there. If you have a hard time believing this, if you have a doubt, the court says in case of doubt, the tax laws, are construed or interpreted most strongly against the government's power to tax and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. There it is, folks. Put your doubts completely behind you because the law is absolutely clear on this issue. You don't have to even go at that one more. In fact, I'm going to give you guys one more definition in just a second. I'm going to do it with you. Watch me, okay? All you got to do, you can just like me do it on your computer. Type in 26 space USC, okay? Section 4612 space US code.house.gov. You can all do it for yourself. And see the first thing that comes up, there it is. You click on that. It is this section from Title 26, Internal Revenue Code, Subchapter A, Tax on Petroleum. And guess what? There's definition and special rules. And it says, for the purposes of this subchapter, what subchapter? Subchapter A, tax on petroleum. Okay, tax on oil. They define many things in this subchapter, including the term United States. Well, look at that. United States means the 50 states. Well, there it is. They specifically mentioned the 50 states. They did not forget about it. They could tax oil in the 50 states. They did specifically list them, and the District of Columbia as distinctly from the 50 states, and a bunch of U.S. territories and continental shelf areas. They even added foreign trade zones in there. So it is clear that when they use the term in 7701 United States, that means what? That means only the District of Columbia. That means that 1040 form that you look at that, this is actually a Washington, D.C. individual tax return. That's what U.S. means. D.C. individual income tax return, but they didn't tell you that up front. They just hid that definition in the Internal Revenue Code, use the term U.S., but they said, we told you what U.S. means, you should have read the law. It's in there. You know, we didn't lie to you. They didn't lie. They deceptively hid it in plain sight for you to deceive yourself into believing you have to file income tax and support the crooked deep state. Well, you don't have to do that. You can defund this corruption that the Doge, Elon Musk, are finding out with the government, you know, all the criminality and waste that they're doing, right? So with that understanding now, let's go on to the fact that people are still afraid of the IRS. You know, I know most people are, but the reality is you don't have to pay tribute to the beast. It's really slavery. And I'm telling you, you are not a slave. You were born a free man or woman. And the solution for you is, besides following the law as I've shown you on government's official legal websites, write your lawmakers as you see right here. That's right. We have 7 steps to free yourself of the IRS. Step 5 is question authority. Write to your Congress members what I just showed you and more in our petitions to Congress. File and pay income taxes only if your congressman can show you the law that requires you to file and pay income taxes. You people in the 50 states do not owe it. They can never show it to you. They're never done it to people. We've done this thousands of times. This is free petition I'll show you. Not once has one congressman ever showed us the law that requires the people of the 50 states to file and pay any federal income taxes. Okay? Payroll taxes, by the way, same way. Okay? Let's continue on this now. I'm going to show you. Inside the step 5, we have 3 petitions download for free. It's your right. It's your duty to send these petitions to your congressman and demand that they enforce the law on the IRS as written by Congress, as upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. So the first one is on individual income taxes, okay? There's one on employment taxes, another one on self-employment taxes, and 1099 forms. Let's go to the one for individual income taxes, married individual. Here we are, okay? These are fill-in-the-blank forms to write to your 3 congressmen, and the title is what? Justification for congressional investigation of unlawful collection of individual income taxes. And these petitions, folks, we introduce it to our congressmen that they'll be amazed, just like I was amazed when I came across this stuff. We spell out the law for them, exactly how it works, detail by detail from their own official legal websites. Here it is. We decipher it, and after page of exactly verbatim, quoting the law from the government's own official legal websites, what I showed you, and then some more, you'll see now at the end of this petition, the key parts, okay? We say in the petition that you sent your congressman, we believe every person should pay their fair share of income taxes according to the law. And we have shown you that, like us, most Americans are not included on a list of those who are liable to pay individual income taxes. Furthermore, this letter is our self-determination of our income tax liability, right? And we say at the end of this paragraph that we are not liable to pay any federal income tax. You are being upfront about it all. Okay? I owe zero to the federal government. I've done this petition myself. Okay? And you can and should do it too, right? And then you continue on at the end of this petition and you say, if by reading this letter with officially published Internal Revenue Code and Code of Federal Regulations sections, Supreme Court cases, and U.S. Constitution Court attached, you can show us that we have somehow misinterpreted these statutes, regulations, or U.S. Supreme Court decisions, and that we do owe federal income taxes, we will gladly pay all taxes due and will consider such payment to be our fair share. That's right, people. You humbly tell them, I'll pay my fair share. Just show me where I am wrong. These letters are sent by certified mail by you to all 3 of your Congress members. Keep record of it to have proof of your good intent in your record. For our students, we do it free included, okay? Now here, at the end, we ask you to do independent research on this issue and expose it to other Congress members and stop this government renegade conspiracy that impoverishes American people. And we give them some time. We look forward to their timely, specific, and on-point reply, which they can never do. Rarely we had some lawmaker give us some off-the-wall answer, but they never address it on point because they can't. We're right. This is following their own legal websites, right? And then all these laws that were mentioned here are listed here and attached. For example, here's a case of Gould versus Gould I shared you earlier. It's page 32 or 39 pages of, here it is, the quotation. So everything, the laws are attached for the convenience of the lawmakers to quickly read and understand the law, just like it's there for you, to educate you as well, my fellow Americans, as well as your lawmakers. They can never refute you. You're right. You are not required to file and pay federal income taxes, so you won't. Just like me, and you'll be safe. They will never want to try to put you in front of the jury to put you in prison with petitions like this, because they don't want the jury to be exposed to the truth, acquit you, and give a black eye to the deep state swarm. Okay? So all this I've showed you is available for free on our website, freedomlawschool.org, people, okay? You go there and you can take the 7 steps to regain your power and freedom, and you'll never again voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely, and with a guarantee if you want. People say, pay them on. I know you say all this. I know you haven't paid income tax or filed for over 30 years, but I'm a little nervous. My spouse is nervous. Can they give me some security? Can they back us up? Can they give us any guarantees? Well, that depends on you, my friends. Why? Well, if you are made up of the character of these great men you see on your screen, America's founding fathers, who put their lives, their fortune, and sacred honor for freedom, then there's hope and guarantee for you, my friend. Okay? So here it is. This is optional. It's called the Restore Freedom Plan, Step 6 of Freedom Law School. Okay? You can join the Restore Freedom Plan. You get 100% guarantee that Irish will not take anything from you whatsoever, my friends. 0. You will not go to prison. And if they ever take your money anyways, whether it's $10,000 or $10 million or more, it doesn't matter. We all pitch into the fund and we'll reimburse you whatever the Irish took from you. 10,000, 10 million, or more. It doesn't matter. That's the power of us all working together like America's founding fathers. They did work for them, but work for you and I. Right? Remember, the words of Benjamin Franklin. Gentlemen, we shall hang together, right? And win. Or we shall surely hang separately. Join hands together as a guarantee that you'll be free and safe. Now, by the way, I'll be in Las Vegas coming up May 27th to 29th in the Bitcoin Las Vegas event. Check out there for more information. If you want to meet me in person, I'll be there to educate more people about freedom. Our website is there for you. And what you want to do is listen to our videos. Okay? Take the 7 steps right here. Click on 7 steps, right? And that will take you to 7 steps. Follow the law is number 1. Watch these videos at home or at work, at lunch or dinner. But first, listen to it as you drive around in your car to and from work. Use that dead time in the car to educate yourself about the law. Short videos there, long videos there, and then, like I said, you can watch it at lunch or dinner, and you really will understand all this. And you're going to be like Neo in Matrix. I am your Morpheus, and you are the Neos. You get yourself out of the Matrix. I can only give you the path to freedom, to defund the crooked swamp. Don't give your money to your enemies in Washington, D.C. Keep it for you, your family, and toward restoring freedom in America. Okay? I love you all, and I want you to be free, but I cannot take the steps for you. You have to choose. You have to choose and choose truth. Seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So, freedomlawschool.org is there. I love you all. Hope we can join hands together. You can do it on your own if you want to. The first 5 steps. Or the last 7 steps. Okay? Restore freedom. And also tell others about us. Love America. Love freedom. Tell others about us. And together we can have America be a free country once again. Thank you for being with me. Okay, now we're going to go to your questions, brothers and sisters, about Restore Freedom, about you not being a slave anymore. Be free. It's easier than you think. I get several people right now waiting to get their questions answered. The call number is on the screen, 424-552-1299. Then on your telephone keypad, you press 1, and you're going to be next after the 2 people I got waiting. Again, the number is 424-552-1299, and then press 1. We got right now first a 910 area code caller, followed by the 516 area code caller. We have, by the way, no comments on the screen, guys, to see on Rumble, but here we go. So 910 area code caller, please tell me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Paymon, how are you doing?
Good, my friend. What is your name?
My name is Noah.
I can barely hear you. Hold on, let me turn you. Is it me or is it him? It's us. Let me turn the volume up. That's good. Go ahead. Repeat your name one more time, please.
All right, my name Noah.
Spell that, please.
Noah.
And okay, Noah. Got it. Okay, Noah. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I heard about. Well, I didn't really hear about you. I saw one of your videos, I think, on BitChute.
Okay. When was that?
And then I just kept going from there. That was a few months ago.
Okay, very good. We should put a few things on BitChute, huh? We'll do that, the basics, put more videos on BitChute. Okay. Very good, Noah. And how may I help you, my friend?
Yeah, I have a question. It's relating to the Social Security number.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And it might be a little vague. It might be a little vague, but I was wondering if it's possible to apply for any kind of work without a Social Security number, if the employer would go along with it, just assuming that.
Of course. As long as the employer does not require you to have a slave surveillance number or Satan surveillance number before hiring you, sure. Because those FICA or Social Security taxes, as I've shown in my other videos in step 1, okay, they don't apply to people in 50 states. They apply only to the 4 island territories of Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, American Samoa. That only some of those people are there. The definition of the United States is not the 50 states for FICA law. So yeah, absolutely, if you can, do it.
Okay, and a follow-up to that, I would say, or ask, would one need any special kind of procedure or paperwork if that were to go through?
No. Just do it. It's that simple. Now, what I suggest you do is send your petition to Congress, your Congress members, all 3, and make a copy. You keep a copy, of course, for yourself with certified mail receipt. You must send it by certified mail to have record of it for yourself in the future. Make a copy for your employer. Look, here it is. There's a petition here about the FICA Social Security taxes. Read it for yourself. Here it is. We have one right here for employment taxes. That's what it's about. They say, look, you are following the law by not stealing from my paycheck, and you have to match no FICA taxes because it never applied to my work or you hiring me in the first place.
All right. Well, I love all your videos. I watched many of them, and they're so concise and just very direct with the law. And
thank you.
I wanted to thank you, for everything that you're doing.
You're welcome, my friend.
All your hard work.
Tell others. I forgot to mention earlier, that at Freedom Law School, the last part is my favorite fun part of the 7 steps, which is what? You tell other people about us. Let me put it on the screen for you. Here it is. Spread and love the truth, okay? Okay? You got to be the ones, everybody. I cannot do it by myself. To share the truth and the law with the American people, arm them with the law, okay? To restore America, restore our families in America. We're just a tool for you. Freedom Law School is there at your service to reach out to your fellow Americans, your family members first, okay? Friends, co-workers, tell them about us. Give them our brochures. We mail them to you for free. Restore Freedom brochure, what it will show them that no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income or payroll taxes. So, and we'll pay you. by referring people to us. You can text it to your friends, I recommend, email it to them, post our videos or our material on your social media, and folks, together we're going to make a difference and have America be a free country once again. Anything else, Noah, before I go to the next caller?
I think that is it. You were very helpful. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Noah. Let's go now to the 516 area code caller, followed by a caller from area code 281. So here you are, from area code 516. My friend, give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please.
Hello, Payman. This is Randy from 516 area code. I didn't know I pressed 1, but I would like to ask a question. Payman, it's been ruining me. Could you go over again what is willful failure to file income tax, the basic definition, and how you can help?
72 U.S. So we're looking up right now with you. 26 USC, 20 space USC, space 7203, yes, space US code.house.gov. There it is. It comes up right now. Here we go. Internal Revenue Code, Title 26. Okay. Section 7203, willful failure to file a return. Okay. So basically what it says, any person required under this title to pay an estimated tax or required by this title, you got to be required, or regulations, okay, to make a return, and so forth and so on. That is the law, okay? So this thing is, a key element is, and it's willfulness. You have to willfully not file income tax. When it comes to taxes, it must be a willful, knowing, intentional violation of the law. In other words, for example, if you do not know about the law, you got to pay this X tax. You never knew about it. You never paid it. Anyways, they cannot put you in prison because you never knew, oh, I had to pay this tax. You never knew. Here, we're not doing that. Here, we're showing you that this title, Title 26, or regulations, do not require you to file and pay federal income tax to begin with. Okay? Now, where I can give you more information about this topic is in our Step 5 videos. Okay? Let me show that for you right here. When you go Step 5, here we go. Okay, on top of the Step 5, here we go. I'm going to take you inside. Right here. This video right here on the front page, it tells you about why you will not go to prison, about willfulness issue. What you're asking is answered in more detail. Watch this video in more detail. And on Step 5, when you click inside again, I'll talk about the petition process. And this other video, why you will not go to prison, when you write your lawmakers and ask them to correct you if you are wrong, because no federal lawmakers has ever refuted our legal petitions as shown us a law that requires people of the 50 states to file and pay income or payroll taxes. So basically, that's a summary for you. And again, watch those videos for more detail.
Thank you. That was great. That was perfect. And I am in the process of writing my Congress people letters. And one other question, if I may, is I'm petitioning. Well, I haven't yet. I'm not sure how to do this. Is my New York State license got suspended because of the tax issue? Is there any legal way I can fight this? Except, I don't know. Is there any legal way? I know I've asked you this before, and I apologize. But
well, did you file with New York? Did you file a tax return with the New York?
Yeah.
You did?
No, not for many, many years.
Okay. Well, I have no clear, simple, guaranteed answer for you, unfortunately. Okay? But basically, all you gotta do is call them and make a payment plan with them, and then by doing so, they will unsuspend your license. Okay? Now, if If you
Understood.
end up in hospital and cannot pay them, if you die, cannot pay them, if you just later on decide not to pay them, they don't get paid, well, that's just the way how it works, okay? But, you start the payment plan, at least we get you started in that process, okay? Now, again, if you want to do that or not, that's up to you, And more and more people like you ought to consider leaving those socialist communist states like California, New York, Hawaii, Massachusetts. Leave those communist places. You as a freedom lover do not belong in there. Come to Florida, Tennessee, Texas, South Dakota, one of those more freedom-oriented states. Okay?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Payman. God bless Erwin Schiff, too.
Thank you for
Bye.
asking. All right, people, I'm almost done. Unless you have a question, I'm boogie out of here, spend some time with my family. So if you have a question, this is your last chance. By the way, remember, for many states, the tax filing return deadline has moved to May 1st. Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South and North Carolina, many parts of Tennessee and Virginia, okay? And also the people who lost house in the LA fire, Juneau, Alaska, a couple other places, the tax deadline is May 1st. So that gives you, if you're one of those people in those areas, to further investigate these issues, the law for yourself. Take advantage of the time that you got to further educate yourself, to further verify that this is the truth. And you can get out of the matrix, okay? Because I know it's shocking to you, unbelievably good, but usually something's too good to be true. It is too good to be true, but not this one, okay? You got to do your homework on it. Okay, we have one more caller from area code 510 in Oakland, California. Please give me your first name, my friend. You heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, man. This is Andrew. Well, I wanted to inform you that you're not streaming on your website. FreedomLawSchool.com.
Oh,
no.
FreedomLawSchool.org, not .com.
I've been waiting. .org, yes.
.org. Oh, thanks for letting me know. My video man's going to put it on there. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that, Andrew. Do you have any questions?
I don't have a question at this time. And I was waiting for you to start, and then I called in and realized you're already going. So, all right, no question at this time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your work.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I appreciate that. Okay. We have now
Okay,
another
you're
caller
welcome.
from area code 760. Okay, 760 caller. You're live with Freedom Law School. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Sure. Yeah, sure. My name is Ed. I found you on Stu Peters' show.
Very good. And how may I help you, Ed?
And calling. Yeah, just a quick question. I did call in a couple of weeks ago and talk to one of your guys there. And I understand you have those 7-step program that you offer to people for free. But I think I was talking to this gentleman there at your company, and he said that there is a process where you can help us. And I think if I remember correctly, it's like you guys get paid like 30% of what we would have had to pay in tax. Does that make sense?
Yes. The 7 steps,
okay, so
the first 5 are absolutely free, okay? Because I just showed you. The 5th step is to petition your congressman. Step 1 is follow the law, right? Step 2 is to stop filing income tax forms. Step 3 is to realize the IRS operates on deception and bluff. Step 4 is take courage from our victories, because none of our students who's come to Freedom Law School clean, okay, stop filing and paying income tax with Freedom Law School first, has ever gone to prison for federal taxes, nor had their paycheck or bank account levied or home or business seized by the IRS. Okay? Then step 5 is question on authority, which I showed you. Blah, blah, this. And then now, here is step 6. Join the Restore Freedom Plan, which has been around since 2001. It used to be the Royal Freedom Package, not the Restore Freedom Plan. And yes, the membership for this is 30% of what you would have otherwise paid the IRS. In other words, if you normally would have filed and paid to the IRS $10,000, you do neither. Of the $10,000, you keep $7,000 for you, and the other remaining $3,000 you contribute to be part of the Restore Freedom Plan. If you normally pay the IRS $1 million, you don't do that. You keep $700,000 of that million for yourself, and the other $300,000 you contribute to the Restore Freedom Plan. So the calculator on our website, on the front page of our website, there's a calculator there, okay? And there, you can see the numbers. You plug it in on the application at the top center. Click on application. You agree to terms, and here you fill out the simple numbers, and I'll tell you quickly what your membership would be for your particular situation for this year. There's a separate application for every year. Why? Because one year you might make a lot more money and otherwise pay a lot more to the IRS. Your membership would be more. Next year you might make a lot less, otherwise owe the IRS a lot less money. Your membership would be also a lot less as well. That's why it's a way of us, each of us, contributing to the plan to restore freedom, okay, according to our needs of how much security we need. The guy that makes $1 million a year needs to pay more to have us guarantee he'll have no problem with the IRS, that will take care of it, than the guy that makes only $40,000 a year. Okay?
Okay, yeah, and then since I've already went through taxes this year, my thoughts are just I want to make sure they have this set up, obviously, for next year. Is that the right thinking, in your opinion?
Yes. That's right. You start.
Okay.
If you're an employer or you have your own business or independent contractor.
I work for so I work for a company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you want to stop the stealing of income taxes from your paycheck. Okay. You can do that very simply by going to our website on the top center right area. On the right, the drop-down menu on the right comes down. The third one is free yourself from tax withholding. Okay, you click on that, and right there you see full instructions how to free yourself from income tax withholding. Instructions are here on video, written instructions, the form to fill out. Everything is right there for free. You can do it for yourself, or as part of our Restore Freedom Plan member, we can guide it you through it. Make sure it gets done right.
Okay. So it seems like you guys enable people with a free solution, right? But then there's also the package you were just speaking about. That, I mean, that's what I'm probably more interested in, as far as someone who's kind of walking alongside me, right? It makes sense for me to do that. Mm-hmm. Am I thinking correctly in your view that some people decide just to do the whole process, and some people don't?
Right. It's your choice, because IRS is leaving non-filers mostly alone. They come out to very, very few non-filers. Okay? So, especially if you're low income, I say keep all your money. You need it badly. Okay? You work at Walmart, McDonald's, some minimum wage job. Keep it all. Okay? You make more than that, or you want more security, you feel more comfortable, want or need that guarantee, then the Restore Freedom Plan is option for you. Or you just say, you know what? I'm about freedom. For me, it's more than money. For Paymon, this was never about the money, number one. Number one for me was, I come from Iran, to land of the free, home of the brave. I want America to become a free country once again. That was my first motivation. Money was secondary, which is a nice one. Okay? Because if America goes down, becomes a tyranny, like Iran, where I came from, where am I going to go?
Yep.
Right? That's why in my 20s, as soon as I became an American citizen in 89, one of the first things I did is I registered as Libertarian Party member and activist and start get involved and have America be a free country once again. So what I'm doing right now is an extension and continuation of that process that started for me in the late 1980s. So you want to be part of that group, like America's modern-day founding fathers, by hanging together, you can have the peace of mind that you want while you feel good about doing the right thing, standing up for the good thing for your family in America at the same time.
Yeah, that's really good. And then I appreciate your time. One last thing is that anything I need to do, particularly with like cryptocurrency, because again, I had it like I'm kind of in a hardware wallet, and this year is where I'm kind of like exercising it a bit, so I know I'm more on the radar, if you know what I mean. And that's why it's like I would love to probably go through your program for any kind of gains as well. So anything particular, or is it all underneath the same umbrella?
Yes. If you go to step 2, start filing income tax forms, and click on below the video, the continue step 2 video, okay, you'll see I talked about the crypto issue. There's a crypto trap question for you on the 1040 form, the digital asset question, okay? And ask
the trap,
Yeah. So what did you do on that crypto trap question? Did you put yes or no on that?
Well, this year, cause I made, you know, I'm here in California, got 2 kids, and me and my wife, we didn't even pay taxes because I only made about $70K, which is under, right, in California. So I did use the CPA that I've used for the last few years. Coinbase had sent something. We didn't put it on my tax. I didn't even think I did anything personally, but it was only for like $3,000 of a gain or whatever. And that was just putting a little crypto onto Coinbase. It wasn't even a trade, right? But that came up with Coinbase, and then the IRS came back and gave me a letter like 3 weeks ago. I gave it to my CPA, and he said, "You're still under the umbrella, disregard." So, but I don't believe I signed any. Yeah, I didn't even knowingly think I had anything in crypto this year, but Coinbase had reached out right to the IRS and said, said no, there was something that came on, showed up on their radar. Yeah.
See, you don't answer question yes or no on that form
at
all by not filing the form at all. Is when you file the form, 1040 form, you say yes or no, they come after you. I've had people that file and the IRS comes after them and says, "Oh, you didn't report some of this or that. There's probably more there, isn't it? Come on, talk to us, open up." When we don't file, I've not seen one case of a crypto owner who sold crypto that didn't file for the IRS to come after them. It's when you file they come after you. Same as regular 1040 tax filers. It's when you file that there's a tax return to audit, to harass you. When you don't file a tax confession form, there's nothing to audit. You don't claim any expenses, deductions, or credits to audit. You're free if you stop filing those forms. So you're on the right path now to never file any more 1040 confession tax forms and never pay the swamp any more of your hard-earned money.
Yeah, I'll start learning your program. Appreciate you, brother. And, thanks for your offering your services. I really mean that. And I'm sure a lot of people on this call feel the same way. I'm going to go through your program and get set up for next year, right? Do I have a little bit of time? Or is this something where I need to get in line now? Because I'm going to probably use your 30% kind of walk through with me. Does that make sense?
You can do it right now. In fact, we offer, if you sign up before end of this year for 2025, because you're an employee, your income is fairly easier to estimate, okay? And your crypto gains you plan to do, you can estimate that too, the plan to sell, if any. Then you can pay now and start membership right now. We guide you all the way through now. We help you start withholding the paycheck not correctly. We give you unlimited consultation. Any questions you have, anything comes up with your employer or IRS, we'll take care of it for you. And you get an extra, under 30%, you get 10% discount also. That option is also available for you if you want.
Okay, and then what I'll do, I can just call in and probably talk to that same gentleman to learn more about, starting up starting up now.
Yes.
I don't want to take any more time on the call because there's other people or you've spent some time. So I could just phone in and get someone live and just say, hey,
Yes.
it looks like, I should probably start now, and they can walk me through it, and then mention the 10%, right?
Yes. Ask them, they'll tell you
Okay.
about it themselves. So you got it, my friend.
All right, bro. I appreciate you guys, man.
You're welcome,
I really do.
man. Thank you for calling, my friend. I appreciate that. All right, we got one more caller with a question right now. Just added from area code 216. My friend, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Payman. Can you folks hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name's Lenny. I've known about you and followed you for many years. I believe 10 years ago or so, maybe through the Anna Von Ritz, maybe a link on her site, something along those lines. But my question's kind of, I know you're trying to get to your family, but touches a little bit on the last caller. But basically, if you can maybe comment on whether I know you mentioned non-filers and the fact that if you don't file a 1040, then typically there's nothing for them to audit or to that I've attested to. But my situation's a bit complicated. But let's just say that I've gotten some threatening notices from the IRS, and one of the last ones, it seems like now they're completely circumventing any rationality or even a substitute for return type thing, where they're basically threatening and saying they're going to, I'm subject to, say, 30%, just using that as a number, and suggesting that I do work. I've been working for the same folks for 15 years, which is a whole nother problem. But they're suggesting that they're just going to circumvent all rationality, the administrative notices and whatnot, and go right to the employer. And I hate to even say the word, but levy, which obviously I'm afraid to death. I've taken several steps with my employer to try to educate them on information and folks such as yourself, and I've given them loads of information as to.
Hold on. Lenny is your name, right?
I'm sorry.
Lenny is
yes,
your name?
Sir, I'm sorry, Payman.
Okay, Lenny. So,
yes,
again,
sir.
the letter that you got from the IRS, tell me more specifically what it is. You can all, by the way, send me up to 10 pages of any IRS or state income tax agency related letter beforehand. Call us. Make sure my people know about it, and they print it out, give it to me in person to address for free on each Freedom Hour that I do every Tuesday night. I do not have your letter, but maybe I can help you if you tell me basically the front page of the letter, where is the heading, description of it in big print, or basically what it is. Is it an IRS lock-in letter to the employer to withhold, steal from your paycheck maximum, or what is it, for what year? If you tell me a little bit more about the letter, I may be able to help you.
All right, and I may, and I picked you up when I was in the office after hours, and I left, so I don't have it in front of me, so maybe I shouldn't have commented on it, but I'll have it sent over to your folks and ready for next Tuesday, and maybe I can chime in and maybe you can comment on it, because I get it. It could be one of a million things. I'm sure it'd be hard to pinpoint. And again, it was so disturbing because, like I said, it just escaped all rationality. So forgive me for pointing that out without having the full information. But can you comment on how to maybe proceed with? I'm still I tried a couple of different approaches with the folks that I work for, as in trying to make me like a 1099 contractor instead of they're, the presumptuous employee, or that label. I'm still going back and forth, and these people are folks that believe they're right down the middle. If the IRS or the government says this is supposed to be happening, then this is what's got to be happening, and they have no. They're
Andrew, what's your question? Andrew, hold on. Do you have a specific question right now, or you want to wait until next week?
Yep.
When you send the paperwork?
Okay. My question is, I'm filing as an exempt person, but I'm still. That's the only option I have right now, which still wages.
Did you use our form?
Are being reported.
Did you use our form that we gave you on filing exempt at your job?
A W-4 form. Yep.
Did you use our form with our instructions, or you did on your own?
Okay.
Which way did you go?
Okay.
No, which way did you go?
No, it's been a W-4.
No, do it our way. No, do it our way.
Okay.
That way, without the law quoted and attached to your W form, you are at risk. You're at risk of them coming after you for tax evasion, because they portray to the jury that you evaded your fair share of taxes by putting exempt of your W-4, with the other jurors on trial sitting to judge you. They filed and paid income taxes. Those explanations of law at the part of our W-4 exempt and the court cases are critical as evidence of your good faith innocence, and you should send those petitions to your Congress members, all three of them, 3 petitions to all 3 Congress members, to demonstrate and make a record of you trying to reform and clean up our government, as well as your good intent to follow the law as written by Congress, as upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay?
Are those tools that are available that are available to the public, or is that something that I got to set up with a circuit?
For free on our website, as I said. They're all available. Right. Keep yourself tax withholding in the drop-down menu. Okay. And step 5, I told you, it's also available for free as well.
All right, Payman. Thank you so much. And I will submit that other document. And that's what it went. That's what it touched on, evasion. That's along the lines of that other notice I mentioned. But I appreciate you taking my call this late, and you are a blessing to many people, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you for calling, Lenny. I appreciate your support, and thank you for your love. And I'll do my best. Again, it's up to you people to free yourself. I just provide the tools, information for you to take advantage of it. All right. We have no more callers right now. The line is free. If you want to ask a question right now, everybody, this is the time to call. You'll be live right away and get your question answered. The number to call is 424-552-1299, and then you press 1 on your telephone keypad to be next. Again, the number is 424-552-1299, and then you press 1 on your telephone keypad. I'm not doing as many events as I used to this year. Unfortunately, they're not very fruitful. Not many people travel these days to hear somebody speak. They'd rather watch it for free online, which I understand. It costs a lot less to watch someone online than meet in person. For that reason, I'm going to be only this year planning to go only right now to one event this year. And that is the event in Las Vegas, okay, at the Bitcoin 2025, May 27th through 29th. So if you want to meet in person, that's the place to be. So with that, brothers and sisters, I give you my love. I give you my wisdom and information. I hope you take advantage of it. You take the red pill. Get yourself out of a matrix of deception, fear, robbery, and slavery of the IRS, and take yourself out of the matrix into the path of knowledge, wisdom, confidence, peace of mind, prosperity, and joy. Thank you. I'll be back with you next week. Meanwhile, go to freedomlawschool.org to free yourself now.